Okay, so you want to start off by adding your non-dairy milk and maple syrup to a small pot, and then you just want to heat it on the stove, mix it together so it's combined, and heat it until it's warm. You don't want it to be too hot because it can affect the yeast, so just make sure it is a little bit warm to the touch. Then you want to prepare your powdered egg replacer. So this is just the Bob's Red Mill powdered egg replacer, and you just mix a teaspoon of it with a couple tablespoons of water, and you mix it around until it is kind of like an egg white consistency, kind of. It has to sit for about 5 minutes, but the instructions for it are usually on the box. So then into a mixing bowl or the bowl of a stand mixer, you can add the flour, the instant yeast, make sure that it's instant, as well as the salt, and just whisk that together until it is all mixed together. Then you can add in your softened vegan butter, your warmed milk and maple syrup, and the egg replacer egg. And as you can see, it's kind of congealed a little bit, so it looks a bit more sticky, if that makes sense. And then you just want to mix that together until it forms a nice soft dough. So this is why you want the butter to be really softened, and even a tiny bit melted is okay, because it's better for it to be warmer than too cold, if that makes sense. So again, you just want to mix that until it forms a soft dough, and then you can just dump it out onto the counter, knead it a couple times until it's a nice kind of smooth dough ball. And then you just want to put it back into the bowl and cover it with a tea towel and leave it for about 1 hour to rise, or until it's doubled in size. And just make sure that you place that in a warm, draft-free area. So while that's rising, you can make your maple butter. So you basically just want to combine your softened vegan butter with the maple syrup and stir it well until it's combined. So once the dough has risen, you can just lightly flour a work surface and then put the dough ball onto it. And then you just want to roll it out into a long rectangle. I have the approximate measurements in the blog post, so make sure you go check out the blog post link below if you want the kind of exact length measurements, but you can see approximately how long it should be here. And then you just want to spread a big heaping spoonful of the maple butter onto the dough. And you want it to be a super thin layer. It doesn't have to be, smeared on there at all. You want it to be really thin. And then you want to cut that into 12 separate strips. So I like to cut it once down the middle, cut those down the middle, and then cut each of those pieces into 3 strips. I just find it easier to make them even that way. And then you're just going to roll each one up kind of like a cinnamon roll. Roll it as tightly as you possibly can, and then you're just going to put those all into your prepared baking dish. Then you can brush each one with a little bit of maple butter and bake those for about 22 to 25 minutes until they are nice and golden brown. I actually just put mine in for an extra minute on broil to get the tops really nice and golden. But if yours brown up as much as you want, then that's totally fine. You don't have to broil them. If you are broiling them, be very careful because they can burn really easily. And so that is it. So once they're nice and cool, you can remove them from the pan. I actually like to do this when they're still a little bit warm, because who doesn't love warm dinner rolls, right? So you can just remove them from the pan and serve them with the rest of the maple butter. And they're so good. These are like, honestly, one of the best things I've ever made. They're so fluffy and sweet and just perfect to go with any sort of meal. So I hope you guys like them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.